Hi there, welcome to Tarot Land Soap Opera. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Aries energy. On the top row is going to be high vibe Aries energy. When we're in high vibe Aries energy, we're bold, we're brave, we're confident, we love and care for ourselves and nurture our dreams and believe in ourselves, and we're willing to close out old cycles in life and learn lessons to move forward. And the bottom row is going to be low vibe Aries energy. When we're in low vibe Aries energy, we maybe could be lacking confidence. We don't want to step out of our comfort zone. We get sucked into maybe repeating past patterns. We might be in fear, insecurity, pride, ego, maybe have addictions, maybe wanting to not be disciplined within ourselves, and it's all about our wants, our needs, our lusts, our greed. And so it could be a battle within yourself between your dualistic nature, or it could be that you're in high vibe and other people in your life that you might know, or just people in general, some people in the world, or it's a story of what's going on in their life in low vibe. You'll have to apply it to your life as it fits, but I'll tell it from both all these different perspectives so you can maybe figure out what are some issues you're dealing with. Okay, well, we had a clump come out there. The bottom of the deck is the reason for the reading, and it's the Page of Cups for high vibe people. And I look at the Page of Cups as making peace to the past, so you can let the past go and no longer let past fears or insecurities or pain and heartbreak hold you back. And I'll show you the cards in a minute, but it starts out with the Six of Wands, which is Leo energy, taking bold, brave, confident action to overcome inner conflict, competitive energy, other people in your life who might be fighting or competing or prideful or egotistical. And you're moving forward to take creative action within your own foundation to move forward. You've made a decision about what you're going to invest in, and you're going to invest in maybe letting go of a job or a relationship that you had been working on, or a friendship or something. And you're balancing out your strong emotions because you might have been dealing with someone who, either an Aquarius or a Pisces, but someone who has a lot of mental conflict about seeing things from other people's perspectives or expanding their viewpoint about the world. They might be in pride and ego. Maybe someone owes you an apology and they're stubborn and prideful about apologizing, or they have mental conflict in their pride and ego about apologizing, or even letting their more emotionally vulnerable nature out in the world. And so, some people are very defensive of being hurt because they've been hurt before, so they don't ever let their more emotionally vulnerable nature out into the world. They operate from pride and ego. So you are balancing out your strong emotions and your mental conflict. And if you had felt stuck for quite a while about moving forward in your life, you're trying to connect in with your inner youthful nature of hope and faith and belief in yourself and your dreams, and to nurture and love yourself so that you can keep moving forward and let the past go. Accept everybody is where they're at in life, and if some people are in pride and ego, they got some lessons to learn. If they have fear and insecurities, they got some lessons to learn. It's hard to make our dreams come into reality if we're caught up in our stubbornness or our pride and ego, or we think we can operate from pride and ego, be deceptive and manipulative, and still get people to want to work together with us. You might have someone who does make you a small offer of an apology or a loving gesture. They might want to move away from someone in their life that's being prideful and egotistical, but they could be being deceptive and manipulative. They still don't see the truth, that it's about love and being open and honest. So I'll show you the cards here. This is taking that bold creative action in your foundation to make a decision, because we go from 3 of Pentacles to 10 of Pentacles. So you're taking back a 7 of Pentacles, and 7 of Pentacles can be about wondering what you should invest in. So I think if you were pondering, who and what, or what job or what way of living my life should I invest in, you've decided to put in work and effort to let go of something that you might have been working on. The 2 of Pentacles can be about lifting up your investment in something that you had been investing in, that you thought your dreams were going to come into reality with. And now you're finding balance within yourself, but you're not investing in that past thing anymore. So again, if you had been in a relationship, maybe with a Capricorn, that you thought was going to be victorious and abundant, but it wasn't, because maybe the other person was being deceptive or manipulative or prideful and egotistical, you're no longer investing in that person, relationship, job, way of being. Because for some people, it was within themselves that they were kind of not seeing the truth and being defensive and in pride and ego. They're putting an end to that to balance out their strong emotions, to work through their mental conflict that they have, so that they can see life from a different perspective and expand their perception of themselves and the world around them. And they're doing that by connecting in with their inner child nature of hope and faith and belief in their dreams, and hope and faith and love, offering themselves love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness, encouragement every day, so that, because some people, either you or people you were dealing with, could have been operating from their pride and ego. Their foundation could have been very materialistic focused or worldly focused, and they were juggling. They could have been juggling, do I make my life about money and materialism and status and image and operating from pride and ego, and align with other people in my life who are aligned with those things? Or do I balance out my strong emotions and work through my inner conflict about the truth? Because we have our worldly nature, thinking that all life is about looking really successful in the world by worldly standards, or the higher truth is to live our authentic life. And come what may, we all want some stability and security, and we'd all like to be surrounded by some luxury in life. But if we're not putting work and effort into things that really inspire us and things that we love, and working together with people who inspire us and are loving, we could be deceiving ourselves in the 7 of Swords. And it could stop us from seeing life from a different perspective. So the people who are connecting in with their inner child nature of hope and faith and belief are offering peace to the past, people of their past, ways of being in their past, to not invest in their worldly nature so much and letting that be the driving factor in their life. Fear, insecurity, pride, ego, selfishness, greed. They're no longer investing in that way of thinking, and they're balancing out their strong emotions about maybe how they could have been deceived by a Pisces, because when we kind of are going back and forth about, well, what's the truth? Should I invest in love? Should I invest in pride and ego? Should I invest in people that I could be with in relationships that it is more pride and ego materialistic based? Or should I align and have faith and belief in myself and work with other people who believe I can manifest my dreams into reality, who build their life on love? And some people could be balancing out their emotions about the fact that they could have been deceived by other people in their life who might have offered them a token of love, made them a love offer. But then they went to go get in that relationship and they felt deceived because the person they got in a relationship was kind of stubborn and prideful and egotistical, and maybe was being deceptive and manipulative. They really didn't have an intention of seeing life from any other perspective and offering love to keep moving forward, because some people are defensive of moving forward in their life because they're afraid of being hurt and being left in regret. They don't have hope and faith and belief in other people and don't trust love. So sometimes some people get in a relationship and then the person who offered them a love offer starts to juggle them and isn't really investing in them, and then could be being deceptive and stubborn and prideful. And, eventually we've got to come to see the truth and not be an illusion about people. And we say, even though I would have liked to have been in a relationship with you, I thought it was going to be victorious. I thought we were going to work together. I thought we were going to invest in a long-term stable foundation. I thought, out of love, we were both going to try to maintain our balance so we didn't slip into our shadowy nature, which is our more immature, our more fearful, our more selfish, our more manipulative, I want things my way kind of way of being. You thought everybody was going to put work and effort to maintain their balance. You thought everyone was going to put work and effort into balancing out their strong emotions because, we all have our worldly nature. We all have our wants, lusts, and greed and ways that we want life to go. But if we're going to work together with other people, we have to be willing to balance out our strong wants and needs and lusts and greed with love and compassion and respect and be patient. But some people can get caught up in their mind and they start to get fearful and afraid that, well, I don't know if I, in order to keep moving forward with people, I have to try to see things from their perspective. And, what if I keep working with them and I try to see things from their perspective instead of me kind of being prideful and wanting things my way? And what if I work with them and then I end up in regret? And some people are not willing to have faith and trust that, that things won't end up in regret. And part of the thing of seeing life from a new perspective, in order to move forward in our life, we have to deal with our regrets of the past that make us be fearful and insecure and defensive, the past pain and heartbreak, so that we can learn the lesson we were meant to learn from those life experiences, that not everybody's selfish and greedy, not everybody's deceptive and manipulative. We learn to listen to our intuition better, see the truth about people. Sometimes, especially when we're younger, we have these illusions that, I can imagine what they're going to be like when they're more mature, when they're more grown up. And yes, they are being immature and they are being reckless and they are kind of disrespectful. And there comes a time where we've got to say, and those relationships maybe didn't work out. Well, the whole thing was, we shouldn't live in illusions about people and that one day they'll be a different person than what they are. That's not dealing with reality. We have to accept that people are the way they are because of their life experiences. And if they're currently in a relationship being deceptive and manipulative and prideful and stubborn and maybe emotionally repeating patterns of the past where they do operate from pride and ego in a foundation and they kind of juggle and don't really invest, we have to see the truth of it, or we're living in illusion. And we have to deal with the regret that a relationship that we thought was going to move forward isn't working. And we need to take the lesson we learned from that life experience to see the truth of people, that some people aren't on the same page. They still got lessons to learn. They're still immature or selfish or fearful or insecure. And we keep moving forward. We don't let that cause us to keep staying stuck, keep offering love to those people because we don't want to deal with accepting that this relationship isn't working out. We don't want to learn our lesson. It just keeps our life stuck and stagnant. And if we don't want our life to be stuck and stagnant, we offer peace to the past. I see you're at where you're at. I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. And unless you deal with your regrets of the past that make you act that way, fearful, defensive, manipulative, disrespectful, prideful, egotistical, I can't keep working with you. I have a long-term goal of being in loving, stable, balanced, open, honest relationships. And if you're not there, you're not there. I wish you peace. I'm moving on. Now, you could have someone who could have moved forward with a Capricorn because they thought it would have a lot of materialistic benefits to it. But then the person they went to go get in a relationship with, who might have money and materialism, quit putting in work and effort and began to juggle them. So now they've had to balance out their strong emotions and realize that they might have been deceived by someone who could have been willing, made them a love offer, and wanted to get in a relationship because of pride and ego and image and status reasons. But then when they got in the relationship, they weren't really willing to put in work and effort because they really have their own negative patterns of behavior that they like to repeat. And so someone feels like they were deceived by someone. And even if that person might still want to be in a relationship with them, and you stay in a relationship with me, I'm going to keep being stubborn and prideful and egotistical. Some people are like, no, I don't want to keep moving forward with you. I'm going to go back to the people in my life who were more emotionally balanced, people who aren't prideful and egotistical, and that's what you need to watch out for. Some people might want to come back to you because someone else in their life, a relationship didn't work out, and even though those people were offering them to move forward in what would be a more materialistic foundation, you could have someone coming back to you and apologizing, but they also have their own issues and don't want to deal with their regret and learn lessons in life. It's kind of like, oh, you're so patient in your Sagittarius energy. Can I come back to you? And you'll be like, I wish you peace, but if I'm enlightened to the truth, I've seen life from a different perspective. I've dealt with the fact that this relationship didn't work out in the past, and I've learned my lesson from it, and I've moved on. And if you're still deceptive and manipulative and kind of prideful and egotistical, and the other relationship you went to go get in didn't work out, and now you want to come back to me because I'm kind of emotionally balanced and stable and grounded, and you previously left me before in your pride and ego to go get in a relationship with someone else because of money and materialism, unless you've dealt with the past and learned lessons from it to move forward in your life, you're going to want to keep repeating patterns of the past, and they might want to stop you from moving forward, of becoming enlightened to the truth by coming back and trying to manipulate you into just balance out your emotions about me being the way I am. And if you're like, I don't want to balance out my emotions about the way you are, if you're not enlightened and you haven't connected in with your loving nature to deal with your regrets of the past to move forward, I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. So, in the shadowy Aries energy, this is shadowy, people that are in shadowy, well, part of you could be tempted in the Knight of Wands energy to go repeat a pattern of the past. You could be tempted by someone who getting caught up in illusions, because the magician can be that, we can be caught up in the illusions of the world. We can get caught up in the illusions of our pride, our ego, our wants, our needs, our lust, our greed, And if there is someone who you secretly have passion for that you'd like to move forward with, you could be tempted to want to repeat a pattern of the past with someone who kind of is manipulative in the magician energy. Someone, again, who is hoping that if they keep juggling and are patient, So in their pride and ego, they're still working in their worldly view of life, juggling, not really investing, just biding their time waiting. They're hoping that high vibe people in their life that are loving and all that, that those people will feel stuck and eventually quit believing in themselves and not believe in themselves, not believe in their dreams, and that eventually those people will come back to them out of like pride and ego, fear, insecurity. And so there could be a part of you that could be tempted to return to maybe someone who harnesses Pisces Cancer energy or Gemini energy, because you are fearful of going into the unknown and listening to your intuition. You don't want to deal with your mental conflict. You don't want to listen to your intuition to put an end to being deceived by your mind or your fears or your insecurities, and to believe you can manifest your dreams into reality. So there could be a part of you that's tempted to live in illusion, not face your fears, not deal with the emotions that you keep hidden beneath the surface, to just deny that you have mental conflict about believing in yourself and your dreams. Now, for other people, you could have had someone who does view the worldly way of life, making their life more about money and materialism or indulgence in the world, who juggles, who was deceptive and manipulative, who doesn't want to see things from any other perspective. You could be wishing those people peace. And it's like, I'm sad that, it could be an adult child, a parent, a sibling, a friend, a coworker, a love connection. You're sad that someone isn't willing to get out of their head or their fears or their pride or their ego to try to see things from another perspective or your perspective. And you're sad that this relationship didn't work out, but you're wishing them peace and you're moving on because you've learned a lesson. It's maybe been revealed to you that somebody is prideful, money focused, deceptive and manipulative, stubborn, prideful. And you've learned your lesson. And it's like, I wish you peace. I will offer peace to the past so I can let go of being focused on the relationship of the past that didn't work out, and I can live in the present moment of the Two of Cups and the energy of love and hope and faith, and take the lesson I was meant to learn to make my foundation more stable, more secure moving forward, being less naive, having less illusions about people, and keep moving forward with my own plan. 2, close out an old chapter of life so that I emotionally and vulnerably can step forward into a new phase of life because I've seen the truth. I accept the truth. I'm not going to be an illusion and feel stuck about someone growing up or maturing or getting over their fear or insecurity or their pride or ego. I accept it. I've seen the truth. And the truth is, I want to come together with people in high vibe Aries energy of the Four of Wands. I want to come together with people who are bold and brave and confident, people who are willing to learn lessons in life, close out old chapters of their life, no longer letting the past dictate their future, keeping them in fear and insecurity or pride and ego. People who want to come together in joy and celebration and love. The Chariot is Cancer energy, love and home and family and self-love. People who are emotionally balanced. People who've taken the reins of their dualistic nature and they offset their fearful, insecure nature and selfish, greedy, bossy, controlling, stubborn, prideful nature with love and hope and faith so that they can come together with others in friendship or relationship, and they can move forward in an emotionally balanced manner because out of a belief in love, they're able to offset their more fearful base nature and move forward in an emotionally balanced, loving way because they've had victory over their own kind of worldly base, beastly nature. And they're able to have equal give and take with other people in a just and fair manner. You know, they have seen through the illusions of the devil or of the world or of indulging in things of the world. You know, we can all indulge in things in the world, but, you know, if we don't maintain balance, those things of the world, drugs, sex, rock and roll, booze, gambling, money, ego, can take control of our life. We have to learn how to self-love, to maintain balance within ourselves so that we don't get consumed by those things of the world and have illusions that the things of the world are going to bring us emotional wish fulfillment. You know, it's believing in ourselves, believing in our dreams, enjoying and working with the things of the world, like within moderation and balance, so that they don't get a hold on us and enslave us and imprison us in those worldly things. And we see through the illusion of the world, for some people, maybe through the illusions of a Capricorn, or see through the illusion of their pride, their ego, their fear, their codependencies, and they listen to their intuition. Because if they don't, the things of the world and other people in the world that tempt us to be in fear, insecurity, lust, greed, pride, ego, probably is for their own selfish reasons. And they try to keep us in two minds about the truth. And it can stop us from having our dreams come into reality. And you want to have your dreams come into reality. So unless people have put in the work within themselves to see the truth that life isn't about just looking victorious in the world and exchanging like hugs and kisses with people, but creating illusions and being selfish and greedy or bossy and controlling, you know, or building it on something other than love. You know, there's some people who think that way. And if they haven't seen through the illusions of their own kind of more base beastly nature and started to listen to their intuition, you can't have your dream come into reality with them, because the things of the world still have them imprisoned and got a hold of them, have them enslaved by those things. And when they're kind of enslaved by those things, they've let their own third party, their shadow nature, interfere with them aligning with love and hope and faith and loving themselves and believing in themselves. And that opens the door for third parties to tempt them to be in their pride, their ego, their fear, their selfishness, their lust, their greed. So until they've seen that those things will never bring their dreams into reality, because the things of the world give us like temporary satisfaction. It's like the devil whispering on our shoulder. And all they do over time is run our life off into the ditch and make a prisoner of us, because we maybe didn't believe in ourselves and love ourselves to keep believing in our dreams that we could manifest our dreams into reality. So, if there's anyone who you could have had some people leave your life because they weren't willing to see life from any other perspective, and they're all about pride and ego. As you're moving forward, you might have someone else make you a love offer. You had some people in your life that still have growing up to do. They're still emotionally invested in the past patterns because they haven't learned the lesson from the past, so they keep repeating it. And if we haven't healed from our past pain and heartbreak, we, on a subconscious level, will be attracted to people who are going to help us learn a lesson. You know, we might be attracted to the same type of people who have ways about them that are similar to people in our past who hurt us. And if we haven't loved ourselves and healed that wound within ourselves and given us ourselves everything we wish those people in our past had given us, we'll keep being attracted to people like that, like trying to get them to love us and validate our worth and value. We need to love us and validate our worth and value. And the people who haven't learned how to love themselves will keep repeating that pattern until they keep seeing that, oh my gosh, I had illusions about these people. I didn't see the truth that these people are unloving. We got to quit chasing after people who are unloving. And some people haven't learned that lesson and they keep investing emotionally in the past. But the bottom of the deck is also what's going to come. And you might have someone maybe in your life who maybe they had moved forward in their life and they dealt with some regrets because, that's what we do. We do go forward in life. We deal with our regrets of the past and we learn our lesson. And there could be someone who's learned their lesson and they have learned from some mistakes they made in the past and they want to either just offer you an apology to close out that cycle because they owe you an apology, or they want to make you a gesture of love because they have learned lessons and they want to close out an old chapter and they see the truth that coming together with you in a friendship group or a family group or a relationship is where true success is found. Success isn't found in things of the world. It's found in the energy of love and balance and respect. And that person might now be ready to have a more equally balanced relationship because maybe they previously hadn't dealt with their regrets. They move forward in their life. They learn lessons and they see the truth. Maybe some of them were people who thought it was all about their wants, their needs, them looking victorious and exchanging resources with someone they had illusions about. And they realized that those people are unloving or selfish or greedy or manipulative and just made them feel stuck. And if any of those people learn their lesson, they're coming back to tell you, I saw through the illusion. I had to go repeat a pattern of my past because I still had illusions either about a Capricorn or I had illusions about thinking that things of the world would make me happy and make me feel victorious or make me feel abundant in life. We can be surrounded by all sorts of things in life and still be lonely and sad and still have all our inner conflict until we deal with our own regrets of the past and learn the lessons we were meant to learn. Then we see through the illusion of people and things of the world that try to tempt us, like drugs, all those things of the world that we can get caught up in that can imprison us. And it can be other people who try to control us or manipulate us or tempt us in our pride and ego or whatever. And some people who've learned their lessons and have started to listen to their intuition and now see life from a higher perspective in Aquarius energy, they now do have hope and faith and belief in themselves and in love and in their dreams. They could be coming back to tell you that they're sorry. They have regrets about the past. They want to make a gesture in the 3D world to close out the past and to move forward in a more truthful, honest, balanced, loving way. For some of you, it doesn't have to be a relationship. Like I say, it could be a sibling, an adult child, a parent, a friend. But you're doing all this within yourself. You're staying balanced and taking bold, creative, loving action within your own foundation to maintain your balance so you don't get caught up in illusions of the world and people in your life who try to tempt you to be in your pride, your ego, your competitive nature, your codependent nature. And you're listening to your intuition to guide you because you want your dreams to come into reality. Some of the people who are tempted to repeat a pattern of the past in Knight of Wands, that can be, someone who's got some growing up to do. You know, they're not a king or a queen or an emperor or an empress yet. The Knight of Wands can be a player. Maybe there's someone who's not ready to deal with some things that they keep buried beneath the surface of their emotions. Maybe they reject seeing life from a higher perspective. Maybe they reject having hope and faith and belief in love, or having trust and faith in others. They're still being either manipulated by their own fear, insecurity, prideful, egotistical, immature, indulgent nature. And therefore, they can be manipulated by other people in the world because they just haven't learned these lessons in life yet to be more mature and to take control of their more base nature or immature nature or fearful nature. And they might hide that they're really driven by, the wands can be our fire nature because it is fire energy, fire sign energy, which is Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo. So it can be pride, ego, my wants, my needs, my lusts, my greed, my indulgence. Some people just haven't learned to temper their more wanty nature. And they think if they keep repeating, not facing their fears and insecurities and their emotions that they keep hidden beneath the surface, or ignoring their intuition, they still think that things will go in their favor. But they're going to find out that probably as they move forward, they're probably going to kind of feel manipulated and maybe emotionally confused, because the moon talks about people not seeing things clearly. And they maybe weren't seeing that they were being deceived by their mind. Our mind was created to try to keep us safe, but most of us don't live like in places where we have warring villages and wild animals running around. So if we don't calm our mind, sometimes the greatest fear we have in life to protect ourselves from is being hurt in love. And some people just decide, I'm not going to deal with my fears that I have about love. I am not going to try to see life from a higher perspective and have hope and faith and belief in myself that I can withstand emotional storms, and maybe have hope and faith and belief in other people. I'm just going to keep being like an immature player, never deal with those things. And I'm just going to go try to maybe manipulate someone else who wants to move forward, that has their own illusions and fears and insecurities, and I'll go get in a relationship with them. And the universe is going to try to, when we keep being emotionally confused and we get tired of it, and eventually we quit being deceived by our fear, our insecurity, our mind and stuff, and we finally stand up for ourselves and say, I believe I can manifest my dreams, and I'm emotionally going to stop living my life this way, and I'm going to put an end to those old patterns, and I am going to get emotionally balanced between my kind of worldly wanty nature and my loving, creative desire for love nature. And I'm going to start listening to my intuition and my dreams, and I'm going to start offering love to the future and having hope and faith and belief in myself. The divine uses all things to try to, people can try to run, but I think the whole game of life is set up to try to teach us lessons, because we're a part of nature and we're meant to grow to our full potential. So some people who still have lessons to learn could get into relationships. They could even move forward with someone and give the impression that they're high vibe and they're loyal and committed and dedicated. But then as time goes by, they're going to quit putting in work and effort, and they don't really invest, because then they got skin in the game and they could get hurt. And they're going to kind of sabotage the relationship because they get caught up in their mind, fearful about working together with people emotionally, fearful of love. And eventually they're going to leave some of the people they're in a relationship with because still they don't want to deal with their regrets of the past. You know, why did those relationships didn't work out? Was it because they were stubborn, prideful, emotionally defensive? Are they willing to learn that lesson and quit repeating that pattern of behavior? If not, they're going to keep repeating the same old pattern. And some people they go get in a relationship with right now, the people that they get in a relationship with are going to feel stuck for a while because they could have been manipulated by someone who said, oh no, I've put an end to the past. I'm willing to move forward in a relationship. You want to invest in a relationship with me? And some people, don't feel bad if you get suckered in. There's nothing to be ashamed. If you're open and honest and loving and loyal and committed, it was because maybe we didn't listen to the red flags or listen to our intuition. And part of life is to learn that when you don't listen to your intuition and stand up for yourself and speak your truth and require other people to speak their truth, there is no shame in being emotionally vulnerable and loving. Be proud of the fact that you do that. The shame is on the people who weren't willing to deal with their regrets of the past to move forward and deal with their fears and insecurities to move forward. And some people might get in a relationship with someone and for a while they're going to feel stuck. And the people that stay in high vibe Aries energy who take that creative action to overcome being in their pride and ego, and they put work into their own foundation to let go of that investment and work on their own foundation, maintain their own balance again, balance out their strong emotions, that someone was deceptive and manipulative and maybe prideful and egotistical and stubborn, those people move on. They learn the lessons and move on. And the people who don't, sometimes, there's just players in the world who hide that when they go get in relationships, that maybe the driving factor for them to get in the relationship is to indulge themselves. It's all about their wants, their needs, their lusts, their greed, their pride, their ego. And they're never revealing. They keep their more inner child, vulnerable nature hidden beneath the surface because they don't let that part of them come out into the world. And they hide that they will be deceptive and manipulative, that they're just creating an illusion. And some of those people will maybe go try to manipulate someone else who experienced an end to a relationship of working together with other people, who might be offering love to people who are looking to invest in a relationship. The only thing is sometimes if you don't take time to get to know someone before you kind of get emotionally tangled up and got your heart involved, is that the person they offer love to could say, oh, I'm someone who operates from pride and ego, and I emotionally manipulate people for my lust and greed. Yeah, I'll come together with you in a relationship. I'll create the illusion that our dream will come into reality, but really I have a lot of fear and insecurity about love. I'm really fearful that if I move forward in relationships that something will happen, and I let all my fears and insecurities take control, and because I don't have a strong emotional foundation within myself, I maybe don't believe I can weather emotional storms in my life. So I'm going to become kind of bossy and controlling in my shadowy Libra energy. I make the rules. You have to do what I say because I'm fearful and afraid of moving forward and going with the flow in a relationship. I feel like I need to control it, and I'm defensive to emotionally going within and gaining insight and wisdom about my past. So instead, I like to be the pampered person in a relationship and indulge in a relationship while I'm in my shadow nature, and you're just supposed to love me and enable me being in my more shadowy nature, and I hide and turn my back on learning lessons in life. Some people are just immature. Some of them could be in their pride and ego where I don't have to learn anything. I don't have to be just and fair. This is all, really egocentric. The world revolves around me and my wants and needs. I make the rules. I'm the boss. This world is, somebody comes in my sphere of influence, I'm the boss. I make the rules. There is no higher truth to aspire to. They've decided what it is, and it's all about them being in their pride and ego, self centered, and emotionally protecting themselves for some. And they're not willing to learn or grow or mature themselves. They don't have to learn any lessons. And they maybe just don't believe there's any higher truth to aspire to than it being all about indulging themselves in the world. Okay, before I turned on the camera, I also shuffled the Intuit Oracle 2nd edition. And you got the snake and the white wolf. The white wolf, it seems to be, by this card, it talks about confidence, guidance, trust your inner knowing, instinctual freedom, believe in your power. Some people don't believe in themselves. They don't believe they can weather emotional storms. They don't have hope and faith and belief in others, in themselves, or in love. They have been deceived by their fearful, defensive, or immature, whatever nature. And it causes them in the tornado, that reminds me of the Tower card, it makes them very unstable. The towers in tarot are about building we all want to build long-term stable foundations, right? Well, if people are deceiving themselves, creating illusions in relationships, being deceptive and manipulative, like presenting themselves as a confident, stable, grounded person in the world, but it's just an illusion. Their fear and their insecurities keep them from really being open and honest and loving and vulnerable and authentic. Yeah, this person's unstable. And as loving people in their life, wish them peace and deal with the regret and move on in their life. Yeah, every time that happens, it's a major disruption in their life. They think, don't I control everything? Shouldn't people do what I say? Shouldn't things be about pride and ego? And shouldn't people maybe want to be in a relationship because look at me? Look at me. I have status and image in the world. You should work together with me and we'll have a lot of stability and security and image and status in the world. Oh, by the way, I'm going to juggle you and not really invest. And you should just balance out your emotions and keep deceiving yourself and wanting to be in a relationship with me because look at the image and the status and the pride and the ego. And every time people see life from a different perspective and say, I might love you, but this is not a relationship I can stay in. This wasn't my dream. My dream wasn't to be in a relationship with someone because of pride and ego and money and image, and you don't really invest, and I just have to balance out my emotions, that you're maybe all about yourself and have a lot of mental conflict and kind of are deceptive and manipulative and are unwilling to see life from any other perspective. It's not the type of relationship I want. I'm moving on. And then these people, the foundation comes down because it's revealed that they have, this way of living life that isn't truthful and honest and vulnerable and open and loving. And so then that foundation comes down. What they really kind of want is to be in an unstable foundation where you're like chained to them in your fear, in your insecurity, in your pride, your ego. And you go down into a shadowy relationship where you're being manipulated. You're creating an illusion for the world. You're not showing the world that people are being deceptive and manipulative and like prideful and egotistical, but because of your own fear and insecurity, you keep hiding and kind of letting your passion for someone keep making you stay in a relationship, hoping it will go in your favor. But if you're dealing with someone who's manipulative, because you're either open, honest, and loving, or you're trying to manipulate someone in a relationship. Trying to make things go in your favor with someone who's manipulative and deceptive, good luck. So it's kind of interesting, some of the underlying cards, that you're going to break free of that. Anyone who takes bold creative action within their foundation to quit emotionally investing in the past and their more immature nature, and they find their balance and they see life from a higher perspective to be enlightened to the truth, all those people are going to let go of being deceived by their own shadow nature and other people in their life who try to manipulate them. And they are going to let that foundation go, and they're going to break free from it because of their inner identity and like their own life force energy. And they want to be married to the grasshopper, taking a leap of faith. That's Aries energy. I am going to be bold and brave and confident. I'm not going to be married to my shadow side. I'm not going to be married to other people that are in their shadow nature. I don't want to be aligned with people who are trying to manipulate me. And I'm not going to let my own shadow side and my mind and my fears and my insecurities manipulate me. I'm going to have some faith and trust to be drawn. Let my hope and faith and belief in my dreams draw me, not my fear and insecurity draw me. We have free will. I choose love. Some of you might be dealing with a Libra or a Taurus because they're both represented by Venus energy. And all of this, all of our life experiences when we're deceived or we deceived ourselves, can be a catalyst with the bellows card there to kind of the messenger of the gods is to get the message that we can manifest our dreams into reality. The only thing that could be holding us back is our own fears, our insecurities, and the other people in our life that we let manipulate us. We are meant, look at all the things that have been created in the world since like year zero, the past 2,000 years. Nobody went and bought all these things at a store. Someone had to create all those things that we buy in the store. We can manifest things into reality. We all have unique talent, skills, and interests that we were uniquely given, that if we delve into those things, whatever lights up our mind, if it's music, if it's math, if it's science, if it's studying religion, whatever our thing is, whatever really we could get lost in because we find it so fascinating and interesting, those are the things that we can build long-term stable success on and have a creative, inspired, fulfilling life. So I'm also this round shuffling the Rumi Oracle deck, a poet from like the 13th century. This one is called Divine Discontent, and it says, the poem portion says, winter falls upon us so spring can bring new growth. And the commentary says, what was prized and treasured is now found to be plated, not the precious gold it was esteemed to be. Look beyond what is. There is a true feast meant for you, not a meager meal. Allow your hungry-hearted soul to lead you towards the banquet table. We all have a divine inheritance that we can claim in life. We can manifest our dreams into reality, but we can't keep being tempted in our pride, our ego, our competitive nature, our lustful, greedy, selfish, immature, indulgent, lazy nature. We have the free will to do that, but we won't get our divine inheritance. We won't have our dreams come into reality. We deserve more than that, but we have to believe in ourselves, and we have to get a handle on our dualistic free will nature. We have to learn to encourage ourselves and love ourselves and forgive ourselves and encourage ourselves every day, treat ourselves with compassion, kindness, and let our intuition guide us, and then we can get the feast that we are due and the bounty we are due in life. The things of the world seem like they will be fulfilling, but it isn't the things of the world that fulfill us. We're emotionally creative, inspired people, and we want to be in emotionally loving, inspired, creative relationships and jobs. So there you go, Aries energy. I wish you all peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.